What it is, what is up, welcome back to my channel. It's a wrap, aka UD here, and I'm back for another vlog. I am trying the vlog yet again. It's a reading vlog, as you can tell from the title. So just a quick update before I tell you what books are going to be in this vlog. My 10 before the end, the list of books that I wanted to read before the end of the year. I actually think I'm doing pretty good. My 10 before the end was No Ordinary Love by Maya Ariel. I've read that. The Payback by Kashana Cauley. I started that. I was not feeling the audiobook, so we'll see. I don't think I'm going to have time to finish it before the end of the year, especially with all the other books that I'm currently reading. But I started it, and I don't know if I'm going to finish it. And then I also had We Don't Talk About Carol from Kristen L. Berry. I finished that, and you all will see that in my wrap up at the top of January to cover, the end of the year. Red Clay by Charles B. I think it's Sponsor. I really wanted that was actually one of the top reads that I really wanted to finish before the end of the year. It's just not going to happen. My mood, I just didn't end up picking it up or starting it this month, so that's definitely not going to make it to my 10 before the end. Also, People of Means, that's probably something that's going to get pushed to the top of the year because I just don't have time to get to it. Lonely Crowds, that's another one that I don't think I'll have time to get to before the end of the year. Dominion, I thought I was going to get to it before the end of the year, but luckily, because I wanted to do the audiobook and I checked it out through my local library, Libby, and I thought I wasn't going to be able to get it before the end of the year. But last night, I just got the book, so I'm probably going to start that and listen to that when I'm driving around. This Could Be Forever. I might finish this. We'll see. I started it on my Spotify account, the audiobook. This was one of the arcs that I had. So I definitely plan to finish this before the end of the year. Happy Land, I did read. I finished that. So that will go in my wrap up. And then Tia Williams, Audrey and Bash Are Just Friends. I finished that as well. So honestly, I've finished 4 tentative 5, 6. So hopefully I can get 6 of my 10 books wrapped up before the end of the year. So out of the 10 books that I have on my 10 before the end, the 2 that I hope to get done in this vlog is Dominion, which will probably go at the end because I haven't started it yet. And then This Could Be Forever by Ebony Liddell. I've started this. Hopefully I'll get that done in this vlog. And then some other things I'm currently reading. I feel like I've talked about this book so much. So much. It's embarrassing how many times I say I'm going to read it. And that's Akweke Amezi's Death of Vivek Oji. I finally started it. I am, I think like maybe 20 or 30% in, currently on chapter 11. And if you are not familiar with what this book is about, this book, it follows a family who is dealing with the tragic death of their loved one, Vivek Oji. They're brutally beaten to death and then left at the doorstep of his parents' home. And essentially going between the past and the present of them dealing with the grief of losing their loved one, and then the past of their individual relationships with this character is. We're gonna get through this book. And then I'm currently reading Soul Crush. This is a indie romance by, is it Gabriela? Gabriela G. So currently reading that. I am about maybe 50% or 60%. So I'm probably going to finish this one first because I'm almost done. And I'm actually having a really good time with this book. This book follows, trying to remember characters' names here, Kane and Arabella. Arabella comes to money from her estranged father. Her father left her and her brother when they were young, and they had a very tumultuous relationship with their mother, who was addicted to drugs. The mother passes away, and once the mother passes away, her and her brother are pretty much raising themselves, or his brother is raising her, and they are struggling just to make ends meet. But then they learn that their father has passed away, their father that they haven't talked to since she was like 10. And they learn that their father died with a multi-million-dollar business and left them with a fortune, and they go from scraping by to be multimillionaires. And Arabella is dealing with that. And then there's Kane. Kane also comes from a tumultuous background. He has been in and out of jail since he's been a kid, and the streets pretty much raised him, but he's always been good with his hands. And when we start the book, he is rising to stardom in the boxing industry, and he's navigating that while still being connected to the streets in his old life. Arabella and Kane meet each other, and they both are angry individuals, and they see each other, and they are navigating these new found places in their lives while still dealing with their past together. And so far, I'm having a pretty good time with this one. Like I said, I'm 60% in. I'm probably going to finish this one this weekend. And yeah, so let's just jump into this vlog. We'll see how I cut this video. We'll see how this vlog goes. I know that I'm going to a concert this weekend. I'm working a concert this weekend. And I have to do some Christmas shopping, not for gifts, for food, because I'm responsible for helping cook our Christmas meal. We are recording from my bed. I am about to go to sleep, but I think in good vlogger fashion, I should wrap up my reading for the night or for the day. So I finished Soul Crush and picking up The Death of Vivek Oji by Akwaeke Emezi, and I'm on chapter 11, page 91. So hopefully I can finish this by... Today is the 20th, so 5 more days till Christmas. Christmas is on Thursday. Hopefully I can finish this by Monday. But I plan to go to a concert tomorrow. My thoughts on Soul Crush: I would recommend it. I thought it was well-paced. I thought both characters, Arabella and Kane, were well-developed, and I was very invested in their story. It is part of a series. This is book 1. There's 3 books. It's Soul Crush, Soul Glitch, and I can't remember the name of the third one. I'll probably have a picture of all 3 books up. And the way that book 1 ended was definitely on a cliffhanger, but wow, especially the turn in terms of Kane's character. Kane has taken me for a ride. There was so much I want to say without spoiling the book, but mental illness is a very big part of this book, and every week, if you look on Threads, there was something happening on Threads. But this week, there was a discussion about Black romance and how we talk about how we don't want struggle love in our romance. And I don't necessarily think that this was struggle love, but there are some heavy topics that are discussed within the book. And I think some other content creators in the bookish space made a very valid point that I hate the word struggle love versus, what we should be saying is that I'm looking for a book with more fluff, that again, doesn't delve into such, which is still a valid thing to say, that doesn't delve into such heavy topics. And there is Black romance out there that is light and fluffy, and I look for that as well. But I will also say my critique with fluff is that sometimes I'll read the fluff and it's so fluffy that it's just like another day, run of the mill. Like there's nothing really special about this story. So I think there's a fine line and a balance. But either way, Soul Crush isn't fluffy. If you're looking for something light and fluffy, don't read Soul Crush right now. Save it for later. But did I deeply still enjoy it? Yes. Will I probably read the second book when when I feel like the world isn't already falling apart. And I'm at this point right now where I do want just a little bit of escapism in my reading right now. And that's what I was kind of looking for in a romance. And also I want some slow burn. So I'm asking for a lot. And now I'm turning to you all. Can someone recommend me a slow burn that is, maybe there is some drama, but it's still kind of like fluffy and warm hearted? I think my good example of my favorites, I would consider my favorite slow burns that are romances. I would consider, again, I always say that my favorite light, fun, romantic comedy that is indie and that is a Black romance is Bear With Me by Kendra Daniel. I have, of course, the picture up. Thoroughly enjoyed that book. I also thoroughly enjoy An Affair in Mutton Hill by Takara Allen. I feel like that book does not get enough kudos or enough, it's not recommended enough in the bookish space. But that is one of my favorite standalone romances. It's actually probably, out of all the books that so far that I've read in Takara, which I have not read them all, but out of all the books I've read in Takara Allen's catalog, I do think An Affair in Mutton Hill is my favorite. If you're going to recommend me a romance, I think this should fall in this realm. But if you know a good, fluffy, but still maybe, I don't mind some mess, but just a light, fun, romantic comedy, slow burn, Black romance, leave them in the comments. But for now, I'm getting to the death of Vivek Oji, and I will be back with a reading update. Okay, so I finished The Death of Vivek Oji, and I have thoughts in trying to be as spoiler free as possible. One, I almost DNF'd this book, and I'm glad I finished it because the ending made me enjoy the book more. The way that all the different stories tied together at the end, and it all fed into one thing that everybody loved Vivek, and how each of their individual relationships tied into Vivek's truth. I did enjoy that a lot. Why I was going to DMF it, and I think this is also one of those trigger warnings, incest. It was definitely a plot point in the book that I was not prepared for, and I was pretty close to DNFing it. I have to think on this more because, sometimes you have to sit with the book for a little bit to be all like, oh, yes, this plot point or this character or this certain arc, sitting on it more, added this to the book. I'm not sure right now that I needed that specific part of the plot to get what I got by the end of the book, but still enjoyed the book nonetheless. But you know what Akweke Emeze is good for is, some gray, some heavy gray. Okay, some things that definitely don't sit well with me, or I think a lot of people, and having to sit with that and all the things that come with it. And that has been the case for The Death of Vivek Oji. You made a fool of death with your beauty. You all know what book I'm talking about. And then finally, Little Rot. So yeah, those are the 3 that I've read so far. And all of them have had a plot point that I just, while enjoying the book, was really struggling with. I annotated a part of the book and thinking like, oh, nothing is ever meaningless. If in a 245 page book, nothing is meaningless. Everything in the book is with intention. So I'm just like, oh, this is a cute side story. This is a cute lesson I walked away with, and not knowing how this side story was like vital to the plot of the story. And I love how Akweke decided to weave that in and how it came to light in the end. Overall, this is only my second book I'm finishing in the vlog, and I I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. I'm saying that I'm laughing because Soul Crush, I also enjoyed it, but also left with the same mixed feelings. I mean, this is a standalone novel, so I'm not left with a cliffhanger and questioning whether or not I'm going to read the second book. I'm currently in the middle of listening to Ebony Liddell's This Could Be Forever. I'm not having as great of a time with that book as I've had with these last 2 books, but I'm listening to it. And the male main character is just, it's too golden retriever. It's too much. It's too up here, and I just need to be brought down about 2 notches. It's too, I don't know, something about it feels anxious. It feels too riled up, and it's getting me kind of anxious. I'm just like, okay, did I already describe the book? I can't remember where I first recorded, but the main female character is from North Carolina, and she really wants to go to the University of Maryland. She goes to visit the University of Maryland campus, and then she meets the male character, who is a Nepali, or like, was the second gen. Second gen is when you're born here, but your parents are from somewhere else. Yeah, second gen Nepalian. Yeah, she ends up meeting him while she's visiting University of Maryland. They hit it off, and then she ends up accepting her admittance into University of Maryland. And he is from a pretty traditional, I would say, yeah, a traditional Nepalese family who does not wants him to stay at home during the duration of his time in college, even though he's only like a few minutes away from campus, and also feels that they have say, or that he needs to, if he's going to date or marry, it has to be with someone else who is Nepalese and like follows within caste. So yeah, and the female main character is none of that. She is a Black girl from North Carolina. So yeah, you can only imagine, what comes with that. I haven't gotten to that part yet. They're still getting to know each other. I think I'm only like 35% in, and I'm just like, I'm not really having a great time. But it's so funny because also this book is based in Maryland. I too have family that lives less than 10 minutes away from the College Park campus. And I also, as someone who, is born and raised in Maryland, I did not know all this about, and also have family members and siblings who have gone to College Park. I did not know all that about College Park. So I can imagine that the writer, if not from College Park, or if not from Maryland, went to school in like the Maryland area. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to try to finish this because I want to do my review on it for NetGalley. So I'm going to push through and finish this audiobook and get back to you all about my thoughts. And then I'm going to start Dominion, which I also got as an audiobook, and it's a Libby hold, and I think I only have like 2 weeks left on it. So I want to try this to knock Dominion out before the new year. Woo! Okay, y'all, what it is up. It's not that sunny outside. I've been making my rounds, okay? I thought if I did a Monday before 5 o'clock, it wasn't going to be busy outside. But, you know, I guess everybody took off this week because everywhere has been super busy. But my last stop is, I don't know how many other places in the U.S. this is, but there's this Japanese mart called Ebisu. I think it's Ebisu. And there's one in Towson, so I'm going to go there and stock up on some melon pie. Because if y'all didn't know, I'll up some melon pie up. That's what I'm going to say. That's my favorite, like, Japanese snack food. But yeah, I went to TJ Maxx because I get my journals from TJ Maxx, which is so funny because I was watching Lex Reads and she was saying how she gets her journals from TJ Maxx, and it was so funny. I was in there and like everybody was getting their journals because you can get like a good journal for $9.99. So this one I got, I'll probably show y'all up close once I actually sit down and like do a recap of my books. But it has like stickers. It has stickers. It has like little things for each month, if y'all can see that. But yeah. So I actually use my journal not for reading. I have gotten to the point in my reading journey where I just Notion everything. I have like this whole content calendar that's connected to my reading tracker, and it's been keeping me on track. But for my finances and my other like things, it's just something, it's easier to write it all down and just see it like on a page versus like in my phone. Because in my phone, it's very cluttered. My Google Calendar is cluttered. It's easy to see the very important stuff in the journal. So when we get to the house, I'll probably show you all how I do that. And then I got these really cute sunglasses. I'm just gonna throw them on. Aren't they cute? It's the shade color that I like. Ever since I started getting ever since I bought contacts this year, I just like wearing, because before, which I always keep my prescription sunglasses here. They're old ones. They're from, they're not that old, but they're from Warby Parker. I usually get my glasses from Warby Parker just because my insurance is really good with those glasses. So I have like a prescription that I keep in the car because for the most part I wear glasses. But in the summertime, I'll be in my contacts, and you know, I just have collected a whole bunch of sunglasses because of that. So yeah. And then the last thing I got, I think it's the last thing. Yeah, the last thing I picked up was I saw that they had the Ola, is it Ole? I think it's Ola Henriksen. The peptide lip treatment. They had at TJ Maxx the caramel brulee, but the glimmer one. And maybe I'll do a video of all my lip balms because I am a lip balm fanatic. I think I've tried most of the big ones, okay? Even if I don't have them, baby, I have at least tried it. So I have not tried the Ole Henriksen, even though I know everybody loves it. I have it on my lips right now. But honestly, I had my tried and true, which is the C.O. Bigelow Night Balm. I love that one. I throw it on for the day, and, you know, I'm usually good if I don't eat or drink or anything. So my lips haven't really been chapped today, but I did throw this like on top of it, and my lips are feeling pretty good. So anyway, we're going to the Japanese market. I'm probably gonna get video because I know that it's more interesting than me showing you video of like TJ Maxx and freaking Five Below and Ulta. mic wasn't on. My mic wasn't on. But okay, y'all, we're back. Look, my hair look crazy too. It's okay. It's okay. But this is gonna be shorter because I was talking way too much. But I am 60% into This Could Be Forever by Ebony Liddell. I'm praying that I'm trying to get through it today because I have like 4 hours left. What time is it now? It's 7 o'clock. So hopefully I can listen to the rest today and give like a full wrap up and then move on to Dominion, because I'm going to talk about the positive first, but overall I'm not enjoying this too much. Let me talk about what I do like. I think that the relationship between Raja and Deja is cute. It's cute. I love that it's based in Maryland. I was actually born in Greenbelt, so I'm familiar. I was born in Greenbelt, have lived in Maryland my whole life for the most part. I'm very familiar with the area. So most of the stuff that they bring, most of the places that Raja brings up, and most of like the references, like he always brings up that the summers in Maryland are very humid and unbearable, and that is very true. And it hasn't gotten any better with time. Okay, if anything, it's gotten worse. It's gotten more humid and more unbearable with time. But I will say though, even when Deja was describing the University of Maryland, let's just, ground this. I don't think it's it might be Raja's first year in college. He does say it, but I cannot remember. But Raja also, he's 20 minutes, which could be, there's multiple places you could be 20 minutes away from the campus, but he says he only lives 20 minutes away from campus, where his family, and he wants to live on his own, and that's one of the gripes he has with his parents. Also, he has another gripe with his parents, and all kind of relating to the same thing, is that his parents want to dictate what he does with his life versus letting him live his own life and what he chooses to do. He wants to be a tattoo artist. His parents don't approve. They want to be able to approve the person that he dates, preferably to be a Nepali girl that's within the same caste as his own family. And he battles with that. And obviously, him being with a black girl or a black woman is contentious. Though I think it's more contentious in his head than how it actually plays out in the story. Granted, I'm only 60% in, and maybe it's more contentious than I think, but it seems like his family overall really likes Deja, and Deja seems, which I appreciate. I appreciate how sure of herself Deja is. Deja knows what she wants to do. She knew she wanted to go to College Park. Like, she doesn't seem insecure. She seems very grounded in herself. I like that dynamic within this relationship. But what I will say is that Deja is so excited to go to College Park, and she gives us all these topical all this topical information about, like, you could go on a tour, like how many flowers are at the roundabout when you go enter into College Park, which I didn't realize that was I can't even tell you what the main entrance of College Park is. That's embarrassing, but it's true. But I know what roundabout she was talking about, and I didn't know that it was that many flowers and how they replanted it. But all this is random information about College Park. But what we are missing, I think, and what I would have appreciated in this book, is that the book is literally caught up in the universe of Raja and Deja, right? Like, the contention of what would our families think about us being together, and I'm technically not supposed to be with you, but I love you and want you so much. Also, the insta love. I can't with the I don't like insta love. And the second that they see each other and meet each other, they just know that they're attracted to each other and that they need to be together and that they're the ones for each other. But also, they're young. Like, this is literally, just to bring it back, Deja literally is an out-of-state student, and she has been with her family this whole time, and now she's living on campus on her own. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's on campus. She's living on campus in the I'm pretty sure she's in a scholars program, living on campus for, away from her family for the first time. And I don't think we get enough, which is, I think, a lot of the times my critique of romance. And then I ask myself, do I really like romance, YA, adult, whatever have it be, is that, which is, this is me going back to Soul Crush, which is what I liked about Soul Crush. Soul Crush is like it's not just their relationship, it's the relationship that they have with other people as well. Like, they have their own, they're these full characters in themselves, and in them being full characters, the conflicts that they encounter they don't feel contrived. They feel natural, like, whether it be inner forces, outer forces, it makes sense, because it just makes more sense. It just for me reads better. There is so much like more that could be my critique is the book is starting to feel repetitive, and I feel like there's so much more that could be happening, because literally is Deja's first, like, College Park is a big ass campus. We're right next to this big ass city, and all the stuff that's happening on and off campus is just, it's this, like, the campus is this living, breathing setting, and I feel like nothing really happened. Like, she's not interacting with this campus at all, or with this community at all. She's just completely absorbed in Raja. Or we're just seeing Raja freak out about the dynamics of him liking Deja, and Deja, how she's gonna fit into it all with everything going on with his family. And it's a little bit of a drag. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a little bit of a drag. I'm still gonna finish it. Every time we get Deja, she's either with her family or she's with Raja. And it's like, girl, it's you're a freshman on the College Park campus. You ain't doing nothing else. Like, even she meets up with her friend Romeo. I think it's Romeo. And Romeo is like literally meeting with her hungover because baby boy was out the night before. It's like, what is happening? Also, like, she's a scholar student. We don't get any of that. Like, there's so much that we don't get. And I feel like the book would be less of a drag if we got those things. Okay. So I'm going to sit here and work on my journal and try to finish up This Could Be Forever. And I hope that my critique makes sense. That's why I always hope when I'm critiquing, like, it makes sense why it's not hitting for me. Anyway, we'll be back. I'm trying to get into Dominion. By tomorrow, when I'm cooking this lamb, we're going to be in Dominion. This is my thoughts on all the books that I've read in this vlog. I finished Dominion and I quite enjoyed it. So let's start off with Dominion. I know I didn't talk about what Dominion was about. At least I don't remember talking about it. So Dominion is about a church somewhere in the Delta. I don't know if it's like Mississippi or Tennessee, but they live somewhere in that region. And it's from multiple perspectives, mainly from Priscilla, the first lady of a church, and Diamond, who I believe also attends the church. She's a young high school girl who is dating, is the best way I can describe it, dating the first lady's son, Emmanuel, who also goes by Manny or Wonder Boy. He is pretty much beloved in the town. He's a star athlete. He, I believe, plays or sings in the choir at the church. He's pretty much considered popular. That's the best way I can describe it. But sometimes we get the perspective of Manny, and Manny has some secrets. Manny is living a very dark life. And pretty much all the men in the book, from the pastor, can I say all the men? There's some dark-ish going on. I mean, with everybody, I think, except probably Diamond. But Diamond has experienced some hard, like, for being so young, she has experienced some very deeply wounding things in her life, being separated from her siblings, her mother passing away, and she's definitely looking for a newfound family within this book, kind of in all the wrong places. But there is so much I can say about this book, but there's so much I'm not going to say because I don't want to spoil it. But this is, if you have read it, we can talk about it. We can talk about it somewhere in the DMs or something, because I have thoughts. But overall, I really enjoyed this book. I listened to it in audio. It was really short. I think not even 7 hours. So I was able to knock it out in a day. But I would highly recommend it. And then moving on to This Could Be Forever from Ebony Liddell. This was probably my least favorite from the reading vlog. Raja and Deja, just didn't feel super realistic to me, and the way that they fell for each other was super fast in a way that felt completely unbelievable to me. And granted, he really likes Deja, but does he really know her? Can you really know somebody in that short of a time? The answer is no, you cannot. But he is deeply infatuated with her, and I don't know if we give room to like question that and why they're so deeply attached to each other, and what in being deeply attached to each other, what in their own personal lives they're escaping from, which is probably from the judgment, not the judgment, but the pressure of showing up as a certain person for their family. I wish that there was more like outside dynamics outside of just Raja and Deja and their immediate family. Like, Deja meets these other characters at the beginning of the book who are part of her scholars program, I believe, and we interact with Romeo once and he kind of never shows up again. I wish we got a little bit more of them, just more of them acting outside of their immediate relationship and their parents. It was a lot. And also Raja was a lot. Raja was like so on 10, especially in the audiobook. It was giving like anxious in a way that was just not healthy to me. It was making me anxious, okay? But yeah, overall not my favorite. The Death of Vivek OG by Kweke Emezi. I enjoyed this one. This is one that I almost DNF'd because, trigger warning, incest. I was not feeling it, but I made it to the end, and I'm glad that I did, because I appreciate, one, the way it was written, in that we got the different perspectives of each character in their relationship to Vivek, and the different ways that he was loved. This part that I loved about it, about like Vivek being seen, the way that they see themselves. The only person that really saw them was Osita, which was still, that was questionable to me, but still, I feel like there could have been love between them without it being what it was. But, and there's so much I could say. This is one book that I had to sit with. Like, I like about what I did and didn't like, but why I didn't like what I didn't like. And again, Kweke Emezi is good for that, for having you sit in the gray, in the things that kind of disturb you and why. It always comes together at the end. And this one did come together at the end, but it still just left me with like questions of myself more so than questions of the dynamic of this community, this family. And again, overall, I enjoyed the book. And then finally, Soul Crush by Gabriela G. I enjoyed this one a lot, and I think out of all the not all, the only other romance that I read was YA, and it was This Could Be Forever. But I enjoyed how the characters were developed and how they come together for Arabella and Kane. Kane, to me, is such... I should make a list of my favorite male characters, and it's not going to be because they're book based. It's because I feel like there's like just so full, living and breathing and flawed, but still in a very beautiful way. And I love the way that Gabriela wrote Kane. Like, he is stoic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, in terms of his character, but we understand why. Where his anger is coming from, why, like, he's protective over Arabella, but he's also protective over his friends. He's also protective over his family in a way that makes sense. And the same for Arabella, like, the decisions that they make, despite if we agree or disagree, I understand where it's coming from. Like, sometimes I read a book and I'm like, I don't understand why they did this. Like, I don't understand this character, but I feel like I really understand Kane and Arabella and what they see in each other and why they like each other and why they don't want to give up on each other, right? And also, you know, they're both young, and it makes sense for like their age, and everything just makes sense. That's what I enjoy about it. It makes sense, and you want them to work out despite all of their own personal, you know, battles, their own personal things that they're working through. that they also see in each other, that it might be trauma bonding. It's not trauma bonding. It might be like, I question, I'm like, is this trauma bonding? Even though they don't know that about each other, it's not like they know these things about each other, right? But when it's happening, it's like, I know something is wrong, but I can't necessarily like read it, but I don't want to leave this person because there's something about this person. And I'm like, is this something? Is that thing that's like within you that you also see in that person? Because they're so, look, I could write an essay about Kane and Arabella. Either way, it was still a lot though. So I don't know if I'm going to read part 2 immediatamente. I think I need a break. But all in all to say, I'm smiling. I think Soul Crush, it's not my favorite. My top 3. Can I do top 3? I know I read 4 books, but if we had to order it, okay, I think Soul Crush is at the top, then Dominion, then The Death of Vivek Oji, and then finally This Could Be Forever by Ebony Liddell. But let me know if you read these books. Let me know your thoughts. Hopefully this is my last time talking about these books, because again, I've recorded this specific part 3 times. Now the sun has gone down, so I'm not even getting the good light that my first video had, but it's okay. Well, I don't know if I'm ever gonna vlog again as well, because let me know if I should vlog again. But okay, we'll continue this in the comments. Until next time, y'all, deuces.